let's begin our review of the Callaway Opus Wedges. See them here. I have a 58 and the 54 here for us. The 54 is going to be 12 degrees of bounce, S grind on those. And then here we go on the 58. 6 degrees of bounce with the T grind. Initial thoughts are they're very pretty. I kind of like this design on the back. Kind of reminds me of an old, what was that? I want to say it was a Mizuno. The address view is just absolutely stunning as well. It looks great. You can see it there. You can really open it up, close it a little bit. But it's got a nice round shape. Very, very round. So if you like your wedges a little more squared off, the Opus may not be the one for you, but I don't mind the way it looks. So let's go hit them and see how they perform around the green. So let's actually talk about these wedges here. The Opus from Callaway. We've done some short game practice with them. You can see hitting it kind of out middle to toe. That's where I go for my short range shots, for my chip shots, things like that. 58 degrees, 6 degrees of bounce. Overall, this wedge feels pretty good. Look, so far getting this on the practice screen, there's nothing that makes you go, oh my god, you have to get this club over anything else. Spin rate's really good. Ball is checking exactly like I like to. I'm a very aggressive wedge player around the green. I'll almost fly it to the hole every time, and I want it to stop. Maybe one bounce and stop, and these Opus wedges are doing that. Lots of spin from these. Now, let's actually talk about the grind and some of the different grinds that Callaway offers. So first up is this T grind. It is the lowest bounce option. For somebody who likes to open up the face, get a little creative around the greens, this T grind is going to be the one for you. I chose the T grind just because I wanted to test it. They recommend it for ultra shallow players, ultra shallow divot players, and that is me. I take a lot of very, very shallow divots, and with this I'm actually kind of getting that digging effect a little bit. I don't know if I'd stick with the T grind. Maybe I'd jump up to the S grind. The S is a little bit more versatile, a little bit better on fuller shots, things like that. I'm noticing on some longer pitch shots, these will have a tendency to dig a little bit, which happens, you know, is kind of a sharper leading edge, less bounce, so to be expected with that. So overall though, I really, really like this wedge. Do I think it's better so far than something like an SM10 or a what else is out there, the new Pings, a tailor-made milled grind? I don't know so much of that, but overall, if you're looking at these wedges so far just through green testing, pretty good. So let's get this thing out on a course, see how it does on an actual green, things like that. So far, round the green testing, pretty good on the practice screen. It's pretty good. We'll get it on a simulator, and then I'll actually take it out on the course and give you the full review of it on the course. One of the things that I can appreciate with these wedges is just looking at this is some consistency here. You look at ball speed, not that ball speed's super important with wedges, but it goes from 69 to 73. But then launch angle, you're right in that window, 27.5 up to 28.5. That's a 1 degree difference on these 5 shots. Pretty good there. Side angle, you see they're all pretty close. Your backspin, things are a little bit consistent on the backspin, pretty consistent. You got 94 on a kind of low, chucky shot that I kind of hit there. Wanted to see what else I could do with it. Side spin's pretty consistent as well, from 435 up to 645. That's not too bad. Descent angle, You got 43 up to 45, pretty consistent within 1-2 degrees there. Peak height right around 17 is going to be there in the middle. You got 316s and 18, a 17. And your carry right about 80 yards. Maybe I went 86 on one where it looks like I really stepped on it or caught it a little bit more pure. So that's something you can play with. The name of the game with wedges is consistency, and the 54 of this looks pretty consistent. All right, so let's talk about the 58 degree now. So you'll see here a little bit more variance with the ball speed. We dipped down to 61 all the way up to 69, so big variance there. Launch angle 28.1 was the average, but you dipped down to 27. Oh, heck, you dipped down to 24.5 on the very first one that I hit. So a little bit less consistent there, from 24 to 30. And look, that could be very much a golfer thing. Don't get that twisted. But then you look at descent angle, something from 36 to 46. It's not great. Carry totals from 63 to 76. Just not as consistent as I was kind of hoping for. Doesn't mean that it's necessarily a bad club. Just maybe the grind's not right. I felt like I was getting under some. I felt like I was digging in on some. I felt like I was sliding underneath the ball on some of these, which could explain some of the launch angle issues. You're popping some up, you're kind of driving it into the ground on some of those. Just didn't really feel right in the hands. So I'm gonna hit some more, see how they feel, and report back. All right, so the way I've been hitting driver, I wanted to get these out on a real course to really test them, but these Opus wedges, but the way I've been hitting driver, a wedge into a green is probably not happening anytime soon because of how bad I've been playing golf. So what we are going to do is I brought them out to this little short course, longest hole, 104 yards according to the scorecard, whatever that means to you. But we're gonna give these a real run through, test through, and see how they do hitting into a green, approaching it, and then we will we'll discuss some of the other things about them, what I liked, what I didn't like. So, first question is, what are the Opus wedges? So, the Opus wedges are the newest wedge from Callaway, replacing the Mac Daddy. Is that what they had before? The Jaws? What was their wedge last year? I think it was that. One of the Mac Daddies or the Jaws. I think it was the Jaws. One of that set. And some of the things they're doing. So, I have the standard edition. But I would say the one that they're really putting a lot of technology in is the Platinum Edition, where they're doing some MIM injections and things like that. But this one is their standard model. I have the 54 and the 58. So yeah, kind of playing 6 holes here. Let's see. Hitting the ball pretty well. This one of the big things, I am about 5 yards longer with these, but let me show you where I'm at here. So you can see actually a pretty good shot, right on line, just a little deep, so not too shabby. Well, let's go hit some shots and continue talking about the Opus wedges. So we talked a little bit about what the Opus wedge is. They have changed some weights around. They've done a lot of things to get that weighting just a little bit better on it. Gone are the days of the circles in the back of their clubs with the weights and that kind of stuff to kind of adjust that. Those are gone. So now we are in the Opus age. One of the things that they are promoting is a lot of consistency with their spin and kind of the spacing of the grooves and some of the blasting and the micro grooves and all that kind of stuff, and getting you more and more spin which is exactly what you want from your wedges. You want spin out of your wedges. You don't exactly want a ton of spin with your driver. You don't want a ton with your irons. You want just enough with those. But wedges, you can kind of maximize that spin number and be a-okay. So what we've done is I really wanted to put that to the test. And so you saw in simulator, we were getting really good results on the sim. Out here, so far the 58 degree around the greens has just been absolutely phenomenal. Just been able to do pretty much whatever I want to, except on that shot you just saw, which is kind of ironic, but so the question is, should you go out and buy these? These are going to change your golf game. Are they significantly better than, hell, last year's model? And to that I say, probably not. But that's not really a knock on the Opus, right? I feel that way with almost every wedge that comes out. Do I think the SM10s were that much better than the SM9s? Are they $60 more? Are they worth $60 more? Are they $60 better? Probably not, right? Just like these are really good. And I also think that if you are going to be in the market for wedges, if your wedges are starting to rust a little bit, or you're just not getting the spin that you were, are you going to do bad by getting these? And no, I think these should absolutely be in your rotation to try, in your rotation to test, and they could be the best one for you. But I would probably tell you that I don't think they're $70 more than, if they're worth $70 more than last year's model. But like I said, I don't know if I could say that with any other manufacturer either. So really, if you need wedges, these are a great option. If you don't really need wedges, I wouldn't go out and rush to buy these, you know, just to say you have the latest and greatest. I was coming from an SM9. I traded some clubs in. I traded those in just to get these so I could test. So, you know, would I trade these for the Vokeys? And no, I don't necessarily think that. Would I trade the Vokeys for these? No, I wouldn't trade these for the Vokeys. I think they're really good. They're not better than anything else on the market. They're not worse than anything else on the market either. I think if you put these, if you put Vokey, the TaylorMades, you put some Cleveland wedges all together, I think it would all just be a matter of preference. Which one feels the best to you? Which one looks the best to you? They're all going to perform pretty close to the same. So overall, really impressed with these. Like them a lot. I'm going to finish these last two holes. You come with me. We'll keep talking. The other thing I really wanted to see was, would these perform well off grass, right? Because a lot of the testing I've done with these has been off mats. You know, I've done some testing around actual greens and things like that, but hadn't really done much. I've been on a course a couple of times with these. Hadn't really done much in terms of the what does it look like going half swing, 3/4 swing, full swing off of grass with these, and I wanted to see how they performed. And overall, pretty good, man. These are pretty good wedges off the grass. Not too much digging. That was a big concern that I had with the 58, with it being so low bounce. I was really worried that we were going to get a lot of digging and sharp edges into the turf, but even on some softer turf that they have out here today, hasn't been that bad. You know, the other big question was, they were spinning a ton in the simulator off the mat. Are they going to spin like that out on the course? Are they going to cost me some distance out on the course? And honestly, no. These things come out fast. They come out spinny. They're really good in terms of distance. I think I've actually picked up 4 or 5 yards. You know, I have a set shot for 75 yards. I have a set shot for 85, 95, you know, all that kind of stuff that they kind of tell you to do. And gotta say, the 75 swing is now going 80 with more spin, landing softer. I'm not exactly sure what Callaway did to achieve that, but overall it's been a nice little thing to pick up some yardage, even if it is with the wedges, and you know, that's not the most important thing. So let's actually sit and talk about the looks of this club. You can see I just got done playing, but you can take a look. This back looks kind of familiar yet oddly weird. I don't know. I feel like it compares a little bit to the Strixon Z Forged like wedges that they had. Oh man, that was probably 6-7 years ago. It's just that little bump in the back. I kind of like the way they used to look more than I do the current one. It comes in this bright chrome finish as well as a blackened finish. Now, from the top down, you'll notice that's a very round looking wedge. It's kind of short, stubby, and round to me. You know, the measurements, I could be way off, but it just looks more rounded than square on the toe area. And then back here, the hosel, it's a nice little transition. Overall, I love the way it looks when we lay it open. When I want to kind of shut the face a little bit and hit a low runner, it looks really close to me, but overall, I like the way they look. I think they did a good job with the shaping. I don't know if I would say it's necessarily tour inspired. I wouldn't be surprised if they came out with a full toe version of this, maybe a little bit higher toe. It's almost like they combined the high toe and a regular wedge. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a high toe version, a full face version, as well as something a little bit more compact or maybe a little bit more square for the tour guys.